Little knockdown. That's how you knock it into the drink. Oops. Hey guys, how's it going? It's time for part 2 of the ball testing video now. If you guys have already watched the part 1 of the ball testing video, we went out to Vernon Hills, Illinois to the PGA Tour Superstore. I met with Steve, who is the head master fitter guy there, and we went through the gambit. We started at the putting green, we started working our way to wedges, mid irons, and then drivers to kind of find out what was the best ball for me. When we did that test, we came down to a final 3 options to kind of bring out to the course and figure out what was the best for me. Option 1, Srixon Z-Star. This ball was doing well off the tee, good spin numbers, good distance, decent feel, kind of figuring out where we're going from there. Ball number 2, TaylorMade TP5. This ball was having, better spin numbers, better feel on the putting surface, but it wasn't necessarily getting the same distance as the Srixon was. Last ball, this one right here, the yellow one, this one is going to be the brand new TP5 version. Now, during the video, we had a mystery ball. I couldn't tell you guys what it was because this guy wasn't out yet. So today, I'm out here at my local track. This is Boone Creek out here in McHenry, Illinois. It's a place that I spend a lot of time at. It's a course that I know pretty well because I do play here often. So it's the best place for me to take my on-the-course test to because I know kind of how the course plays out, how the greens roll, everything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these guys right here, these 3 balls, and I take them onto the course. Steve is joining me along with his GM at the Vernon Hills PGA Tour Superstore. They're going to come out here. He's going to take me through the ball test. He's going to kind of point some things out to me, but for the most part, we're just going to play some golf. We're going to have a good time out here. I'm going to test all the way through using the handy dandy PGA Tour Superstore card right here. This thing right there, you're going to grab this if you guys do your ball fittings, and it's going to give you basically your guideline. You're going to check your putting feel, you're going to check your 50-yard approach shots, you're going to check your flight, all that fun stuff. As you can see, you might even be able to hear right now, it is a windy day out here. So it's early spring. We shot the first part in the winter. Early spring, we'll find out what ball is the best ball for me. Steve and Mark, they're waiting for me on the first tee. We're going to get out there. We're going to get after it. We're going to learn a little bit about the ball fitting on the course. Hopefully we're going to shoot some low scores this year. Let's go! All right, coming off the first tee. So at this point this year, I have, this is gonna be the 3rd time out at the course. So what I've done to start is my first 2 rounds I actually played with the old 2019, whenever it came out, the old TP5. That's what I played with the first 2 rounds. So what I'm gonna do today to start off is I'm gonna start with that one, the old TP5, and then from there, once we start to get loosened out, that's where we're gonna move into the Srixon, to the Z-Star, to the new TP5, and get a feel for it. So I figured, we know what the old TP5 feels like playing 2 rounds with that so far. We know that we're gonna be okay to warm up with it, and then from there, the new guys go in. That way we can kind of get a feel to see what's different. All right, first hole, we're already getting into the test now. So we are playing the TP5, the old one, on the first hole. I hit 3-wood off there, went a little bit to the left. Feel was good, forgiveness was good. I kind of had a little bit of a over-dramatic draw on there, so laid over here. So I've got myself 165 yards. You can sit right there behind me. So we're doing right now, we're gonna be trying a full mid-iron. Lie's decent, so we'll see if we can hold the green from 165 out. Alright guys, now we are at the first par 3 test of the ball fitting. So we've got our 3 balls here this time. So it's the last hole, first hole of the day, we played 1 ball, we played the old TP5. This one we're going to hit all 3 balls off the tee. So the yellow one right here, this is the new TP5. One right here in the middle, that's the old one. And then the Srixon Z-Star on the end. So we'll take a shot, all 3 balls, kind of see how they all feel, how they all stick to the green, pending that we hit it. Let's go. All right, so that was the first par 3 with 3 different balls to try. So feel-wise off the tee, all 3 felt relatively the same. I like a softer ball. They all feel pretty soft to me at impact. The results were actually just due to swing. It wasn't due to the ball, but we're going to the next hole. It's going to be a par 4, and this time we're going to play the new TP5. That's going to be the yellow ball. So we'll see how that does off the tee to green, 1 ball all the way through. Because this is a ball test, you know, I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm a mid-handicap, so not every shot's gonna be perfect. Some shots are gonna be better than others. Keeping it in play, you know, helps for the review of the ball, or to kind of get a feel of what you got. The bright side here is that because I do know this course, I've got a little bit of the luxury of knowing where I can miss to and what shots to hit. So we found the ball, you know, right where it's at. It's gonna be a little punch shot out of here, but you know, get back and play and keep working on the ball. So now we got the next part of the test. So pulling out my handy dandy PGA Tour Superstore ball test card. And remember guys, when you take the ball test inside the PGA Tour store, when you come out to the course, you're gonna get these cards. Take as many as you need for how many balls you're testing, and it's gonna go over what you need to do. So we're doing, you know, off the tee, just did that. So now I've got a 100-yard shot, 100 yards to the back, 83 to the middle, so a nice wedge in. So we're gonna see, again, if we can hold the green. That's the big part of it, is it's like Steve said in the first video, does the ball stop relatively close to where it lands? A lot of that's execution, some of it's ball. Actually, a lot of it's ball. It's a combination, you guys get where an idea. Let's hit the wedge shot. So as you guys see, left it in the sand, missed the green, that's on me. Hey, that's execution, but part of the test, hitting out of the sand. So the sand here, it is wet, it's been damp, so it's not gonna come out the way it should, but it's the ball test, right? We play it as it lies, hit out of the sand, see if we can stick it close and see what we feel about the new TP5. That's that one for the TP5, the new one, the 2021 TP5. So, thoughts on that hole? Feel off the tee was good. Bad execution off of the impact down there, but that happens. Punch out into the fairway, so no big deal there. That can't really count that. Wedge into the green. The pin was to the right. I went after it. Should have actually played the smart shot to the left to kind of give myself more green to work with. Because I didn't do that, I put it in the sand. Sand was very wet. Didn't follow through all the way, but the ball did come out of there, stopped pretty quickly, and then I had a nice little 2-putt to save bogey. So, results on the new TP5. So far, feels a little bit softer than the older TP5. Does feel good, I enjoy it. Next hole is a par 4. We're gonna go Srixon on this one. Tee it up. So Z-Star off the tee. So this one is it's a par 4. It's really open here. I could have gone driver, but because I've been leaving it open a little bit, the driver hasn't been as accurate as it needs to be. So far, I opted to club down, hit 3 wood, so that way I made sure I found fairway. I did, so we actually got ourselves a legitimate, you know, hole here to not only score, but, you know, to get a good feel of it. Z-Star off the tee. All 3 balls are relatively the same. I mean, there's really not much of a difference as far as feel goes. So, I mean, for me anyways, it's just kind of keep having to play them and figure out what's best for me. Z-Star held the green. Took a little more out of the number than I needed to. I was on the rough here, but we hit the green. It held it. So I had plenty of spin on there, so it didn't bounce off the back. But we're putting for birdie. Alright guys, so at this point I have played all 3 balls, at least 1 hole for, you know, all the way through. This hole right here, it's a short par 4. And we're going to be laying up around 200 yards or so. So I figured it's another good opportunity to hit all 3 off the tee. We've got the time to do it. So lay up all 3, have 3 approaches in, and I think from here we can start kind of narrowing it down between the top 2 we want to play. That's where we're at now. So 91 yards to, actually 90 yards to the middle, 101 to the back. So for me, that's my gap wedge. Good a chance for an opportunity to kind of go for the pin, go after it. I know that I'm pushing everything to the right a little bit today, so I'm gonna go a little more left. And then that way it kind of gives myself more room for error. So that one's on like 20 feet away. To stay consistent on this one, we're gonna hit the same ball, or the same club all the way through. It's gonna be the same club. So we're gonna do the gap wedge. That was the Z-Star. Still gotta hit the new TP5 and the old TP5. Same club, about 75 yards in the middle now. So we got a lot of green to work with on this one. You guys can see tons of room on the left, pins a little bit to the right. Same thing. I'm gonna aim middle since everything seems to be pushing to the right on me. Little knockdown. That's how you knock it into the drink. Oops. All right, guys, so we're out here, we're doing the course, on the course ball testing. We've been doing 3 balls. We've got the TaylorMade TP5, the old version, the new version, and the Z-Star. So we're going into the 6th hole now on the ball test. We've done it off the tee. We've done a couple stuff on the green. We've done a par 3, everything in there. Yep. So far, what I've been testing is, kind of as I've been playing. At this point, Steve, is there something that we should be specifically trying to test, or should we just continue to play our own game and see how it plays out?
Well, realistically, launch and spin condition. I would say it, especially since we've got a little bit of breeze today.
Yeah.
Let's try and figure out, does one ball flight better than the other?
Okay.
On approach shots or tee shots, right? On the green, feel is subjective. You're gonna know what you want, what you like. So, but from here on, just when you're hitting an iron shot into the green, if we're gonna do multiple shots, does it look good?
Look at our flight on there. Yep. Okay, yeah. So there are a couple ones that have stood out a little bit more. In all honesty, the newer TP5 is flying a little bit better than the older TP5. That's just newer technology. They build off of what they've learned, so that makes sense. And then the Z-Star. So I think at this point, as we've gone through, we've done a fair test with the old TP5. I've actually played 2 rounds with it already. That ball's had enough of a test. The TP5 is starting to kind of push out the new one, the yellow one. Yeah. So I think from here on out, I think we're down to 2 balls, and we'll just kind of go from there.
Absolutely.
All right.
Sounds good.
Let's tee it up.
All right.
All right, guys, we are approaching the last hole of my 9-hole ball test here, out here with Steve from the PGA Tour Superstore. At this point, we've now eliminated out the old TP5, down to the Srixon Z-Star and the new TP5. Since this is the last hole of the 9-hole ball test, I figured I'd put them both off on the tee. So, I think I've got a decision made, but we'll let the balls decide the last hole. Let's get it going. All right, guys, that is a wrap for basically the on-the-course ball testing video. So we narrowed it down towards the end here between the TaylorMade TP5 and the Srixon Z-Star. So both of these balls, I mean, they're fantastic balls. I got no issues with them whatsoever. Had to have some good decent shots off the tee with both of them when I was switching back and forth. The 9th hole hit the Z-Star better off the tee than I did the TP5, but that was, again, execution. Feel-wise, though, when that TP5 is struck, I just like it a little bit more. When I would hit a ball out of bounds today, what I would do is I would drop 2 balls in the same spot. That way I'm hitting the same shot from the same area. For me, feel with the irons off the face, mid-irons and wedges, the TP5 seems to be going a little bit more. My flavor, kind of my preference. great thing with the PGA Tour Superstore is when you're doing a ball test is you have their kind of final ball testing, your little ideas of what may or may not work for you. You can actually go back to the studio inside the PGA Tour store, whatever's closest to you, and kind of put the last little bit of data in there. Bring your card that you've been keeping track of how you're going, your notes, whatnot, to your fitter, and that way you guys can talk out what's the best ball for you. If you guys learned something a little bit today, you guys want to kind of do your own ball testing, make sure you look up your local PGA Tour Superstore. Link is below for the kind of the quick hit, is also you guys quick little Google search. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of well, my channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. As always, guys, keep grinding.